Welcome engineers, today's I have a problem, and today's problem is Season 2 of my team career mode on F1 2021. If you have not checked out Season 1, what are you doing here? This is going to be spoilers for Season 1. But anyway, Season 2 looked off to a great start. We are now the black line. Fortunately, I forgot to change it for this mini intersection before Season 3. So, little spoiler for Season 3 that the car is black. Well, got colours of black. You'll find out tomorrow. No, not tomorrow, Sunday. That's 3 days from me. Anyway, we get our first podium of the season ahead of Lewis Hamilton, and Max Verstappen takes the fastest lap with a 1-2-4 Red Bull. Ocon, our teammate, by the way, we took him from Alpine. Alpine then took Giovinazzi, who took out from Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo took Russell from Williams, and Williams took Matsushita from retirement, basically, because he didn't want to sign for our team last season, if you remember. Lando Norris for retirement, but we got a podium. I believe it's the exact same strategy as last time, but our car was much better, so we were able to get a much higher position. One position better this season, so let's see if we can carry that forward for the rest of the season, and hopefully we do. Unfortunately, McLaren not doing so well in the first race, with Daniel Ricciardo only getting 1 point, and Lando Norris, as I've said before, retiring. Ferrari looking good, 5 points behind us, with Sainz getting P5. Mercedes looking to be on the charge to keep their crown, and Bottas not doing well, keeping his crown at the top. And as you may have noticed, we go to China next, where Red Bull continue their lead over Mercedes, Ferrari continue their lead over McLaren, Alpine ahead of the rest of us. I believe it looks like Aston Martin, my team, AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo, can't quite see from the size of what I've got, Williams and ahead of Haas. Going into China, we did okay in qualifying. We were with Ocon, but we were down the order, but as you can see, we retired. I was going to say something about the R&D performance chart, but, this is more important. We retired, and, yeah, not doing so good. The car just gave up on me, to be honest. We could have been up there with Ocon, maybe even higher, but, that's just the way the things go. This season is going to go, and hopefully we can do well. We dropped to 5th in the Constructors, and oh my god, I've noticed an error. Don't look at Ferrari and McLaren. Look at Verstappen taking an early lead in the championship, 22 points already over Sir Lewis Hamilton. He's been knighted, if you haven't noticed. And Ocon down in P18 in the drivers, not where we want him to be, so hopefully he can get some solid points in the next race at Spain. Alpine drivers doing quite well already. AlphaTauri not doing so well, so no, they're getting no points so far, but it's just the way it goes after 2 races. Let's move on to the Spanish Grand Prix up next. Heading into Spain, no changes at the top 4. We jump up to just behind Alpine. Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo, and AlphaTauri do not change their position whatsoever. Williams then maintain their gap ahead of Haas. Hopefully we will see, but hopefully we do have a better race in Spain. I still don't remember the results because it was that far ago. It was middle of September, I believe it was. But I do believe we had a good one. No, our teammate had a good one. Russell P6, first points for the Alfa Romeo team. Bottas, reigning world champion, gets some solid points on the board and is now 3 points behind his teammate in the drivers. Ocon P6 with 8 points. That's where I messed up. Leclerc getting another point, pushing himself ahead of us in the drivers, pushing him equal with Lando, but obviously with his podium, he goes ahead. And the Red Bull drivers extend their lead over everyone else. Seems like Perez actually overtook Hamilton. Yes, he did, because he's 9 points ahead, and he's gained 15 in this race. I don't quite remember what happened to us, but I don't think it was a good race. Yes, that's it. We got front wing damage off Tsunoda because we tried to overtake him and it didn't quite work. Yeah, we got some front wing damage from that. And, yeah, it kind of ruined our race. And we just lost so much time. And, yeah. Hopefully Monaco can go much better, but, well, not good at Monaco. But, good strategy last time. Helped us. And the top 4 teams once again stay. We improve alongside Alpine. The other 3 teams behind us, Aston Martin, AlphaTauri, and Alfa Romeo don't improve. Williams get closer to them, and Haas stay put down in P11. I almost said P10, but with the addition of my team, you are the 11th team on the grid, but in this case it is Haas at the moment because they are the worst. But we're still 11th in the... no, never mind. Yeah, Monaco, safety car lap 1 due to collisions with the Ferrari boys and Lando Norris, which is why he's out. We got up into P3 because we cut the corner. Everyone else just didn't. We got ahead of all of them, and so obviously my tactic didn't work. Leclerc sent back to the back of the grid due to his damage with his teammate, and then we were doing okay. Our strategy was working fine. We were there with Raikkonen, but then we tried to overtake Raikkonen, got a bit of damage, and we could have got to where Latifi was. I remember. Unfortunately, it's just the way it goes, and Ocon gets podium, pushing himself 8 points ahead of us in the drivers, exactly what we wanted, and we are now 4th in the constructors, 18 points behind Ferrari, as Carlos Sainz gets his first race victory ever. I don't think he got any in season 1, but let's go to Azerbaijan, let's see if we can bounce back. And the team almost go ahead of McLaren. Solid upgrades for the past couple of races. Red Bull stay ahead of Mercedes, plateauing alongside Ferrari and McLaren. So maybe they've got big upgrades coming. Certainly hope not, because I'd like to keep this trend. Maybe we can get Ocon to a world champion if he continues his form. I don't remember his focus, but I'd assume it's good. Yeah, we seem like we're the only team to bring upgrades into this race. So the pecking order stays the same. Let's see if it changes the race. Yeah, no, not really. It doesn't change the race because the pecking order stayed the same. Lewis Hamilton wins the Grand Prix, pushes himself 5 points behind Sergio Perez. Valtteri Bottas not doing too well, but getting some solid podiums so far. This race was wet. We were doing so well, we decided to do a no stop on the intermediates whilst everyone else did a 1 stop. And unfortunately, I ran out of my limited high flashbacks, which means got 6 flashbacks in the race. Ran out of them, crashed into turn 15, where Antonio Giovinazzi and Lance Stroll crashed in qualifying for 2021's Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So yeah, Ocon didn't do too well either, but he stays ahead of us in the Drivers' Championship, of course. McLaren now overtake us in the Constructors, unfortunately, but we might be able to get them back. Heading into Canada, which I have liked ever since my first F1 game. F1 2011. That's not like my first F1 game was F1 Race Stars. Comment down below something to do with F1 Race Stars if that was your first game as well, or if you really liked the game, because I loved it. I don't know why all the YouTubers don't like it. Anyway, heading into Canada, we overtake McLaren. We're really close with Ferrari, and once again, no one else upgrades. So either they've been capped at the moment with the amount of upgrades they bring in, and I think heading into this Grand Prix, I changed the modifiers so that they were on increased and we were on reduced. And it almost helped us win our first ever Grand Prix victory. Carlos Sainz getting the first lap down in P10. Well done for him. But heading into this Grand Prix, we did the exact same strategy as Azerbaijan, going for the one stop whilst everyone went for an extra stop. It almost worked. Heading on to the final lap, we were in P1. Valtteri had been trying to overtake us for the previous few laps, and heading into turn 1, he got us. I tried doing the switchback into turn 2 and 3, going out, but we just pretty much let him through in turn 1, and we couldn't get back past him. Trying it on the main straight, the back straight, going into the final chicane with the Wall of Champions. I weren't a champion, he was, and he kept a position. Unfortunately, we have to wait to see if we can get a first victory in France, but that really hurts, when you lose it just by one lap. If the race had been one lap shorter, we would have won. But it boosts us up into 6th in the drivers, whilst Bottas stays 3rd in the drivers. Heading into Austria then, we overtook everyone but Mercedes as they finally bring upgrades. Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri and Aston Martin bring equal amount of upgrades. Haas bring upgrades that bring them closer to Williams. I've just realised I said the Austrian Grand Prix. That's because of the symbol down below. They're incorrect due to I'm in season 3 with 23 races. And we're at the French Grand Prix. It's a boring race. Let's see if it can come with a boring result. No, it isn't. We win the French Grand Prix. Once again, trying the amazing strategy that we did in Canada and Azerbaijan. And it paid off for both me and Ocon in the team. It was an amazing result for both of us. Unfortunately, Ocon couldn't get the 1-2 for us. The Leclerc and Bottas drivers were too quick for Ocon on their fresher tyres. But it was enough for me to get my first victory after Canada and Azerbaijan missing out on a victory. It has been an amazing result. Valtteri Bottas takes the lead of the drivers after the Red Bulls down out of the points, and Lewis Hamilton only in 8th, and we're only 20 points behind Lewis now. So if we can continue to have these good races whilst they have bad races, my mic is moving away from me, we could actually get into the Drivers' Championship. Constructors may be a little bit difficult due to Ocon, but I'm fully backing Ocon to do well, especially with his win in Hungary in real life. Heading into Austria then, we maintain our difference with Mercedes and Red Bull. Ferrari close in on us as AlphaTauri looks like push ahead of Alfa Romeo. Might be Aston Martin, but colours are too close together. And Austria, it was a wet race. I'm not saying this by accident. I am saying this on purpose. It was a wet race, so be careful. And let's see what the race results could have been. We tried the one stop whilst everyone... we tried the 0 stop whilst everyone tried the one stop. And it didn't quite pay off for us. We got a puncture very late into the race. And it didn't help us. We had to pit. And we lost the lead. we could have had win back-to-back victories, but that's not the way F1 goes. We dropped down to 10th, getting the fastest lap on the fresher tyres, obviously, but 2 points compared to what we could have got, 25, is very much a kick in the teeth. And the Max Verstappen retakes the championship lead over Valtteri Bottas after gaining 15 points on him. The gap is now 10 points in Verstappen's favour. Checo a further 13 points behind. Lewis Hamilton another 9 points behind, and the Ferrari boys overtaken me due to getting a double podium for Ferrari, and they only extend their lead to us in the constructors by 40 points. Let's see what the teams did heading into Britain then. My home circuit unfortunately didn't have time to come up with a special livery just like last season, but you know, it's just the way it goes. I've got a special livery for season 3 though. Check that video when it comes out. We take the lead in the R&D performance for the first time, and Aston Martin, I don't see them anywhere. They've disappeared. Alpine look like get closer to McLaren. Actually, that might be Aston Martin. Either way, Britain. It was a good race, was it? Yes, it was. Absolute brilliance showed at Britain, getting our second ever victory and boosting us closer to the championship fight as Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time champion he is, down in P7 with only 6 points, whilst we got 25. Max Verstappen getting P2 and getting 19 points. Somehow, Perez, after being up here with me and Max, pitted, I think, with damage and only got 2 points. So we are now 12 points behind Checo. So maybe we can get P3 in the championship, because I feel like Bottas and Verstappen is very much a reach at this point. But we continue to have these good races and amazing races that we are having. We could actually get close to them. I mean, it's only season 2, but as you may have noticed, if you've played the game, the AI only get harder to beat the further into my team you go. Yuki Tsunoda noticed that, still on 0 points. Anyway, let's head into Hungary, where we first got our podium in season 1. We maintain our lead over Red Bull and Mercedes and Ferrari. McLaren close in a little bit. The A teams, I'm calling them because I can't see Aston Martin, but I assume they're there. All surrounded each other with Alfa Romeo bringing up the rear. Williams and Haas trying to close in on them, but their attempts may be futile as it's as we head into the halfway point of the season, and it's another brilliant result for us. We get in a what's this now? Hungary season 1, Bahrain season 2, Canada season 2, France season 2, Britain season 2, 6th podium of our career, and further 18 points to our name. Lewis Hamilton only 1 point ahead of us now, so that is very much within reach. And to be fair, Max, Valtteri, and Checo not even too far ahead, because Checo is only a 1-2 behind Bottas, who is a 1-2 behind Max, and we are only 19 points behind Perez. That can be closed in by 3 1-2s. So let's see if we can do that. Verstappen aided our P2 by retiring. Pierre Gasly getting a P3. Well done in his AlphaTauri. He might be one to watch for season 3. Ocon, yeah, he's getting the boot. definitely looks like he wants to leave. And Ferrari's not doing too well. And hopefully they do worse in Belgium so we can close in the gap to them even more. As we only extend our gap to Red Bull in heading into Belgium. As Ferrari maintained the gap as the A teams don't really do anything, but Williams closes in right up to them as Haas plateau heading into the 11th round of the season. Belgium, I'm afraid it wasn't a good race for us. But you'll be surprised that we got P5. Hold on, how was P5 not a good race for us? We really struggled. We were nowhere near the top 4. As Ocon retiring, probably showing you that our car didn't want to do this race. Don't remember it much, but I just remember that it was a very, very difficult race. I think the only reason we're actually up there was because we didn't do as many stops as the front runners, as it was a wet to dry race. So yeah, it was a dry to wet. We extended our our first stint on the dry tires, and yeah, it got us high up, but we shouldn't have really been there. Still closing in on Ferrari, but it's only by 2 points. The gap is an enormous 25 points, but that can be closed in with a single race if both Ferraris retire, not retire. I don't know what language that was. Let's head into Italy with the R&D performance then. And Red Bull and Mercedes close right up to us. McLaren and Ferrari plateau. So do the A teams. Williams are pretty much in line with Alfa Romeo now, and has make small upgrades as we head into Italy. Once again, another wet race. That's 4. Oh no, it's Netherlands. Oh, never mind. Let me think. Oh yeah, I caused a safety car in this race, and the safety car helped me out. I only lost 1 position from me causing the safety car. And no, I didn't lose P2. I lost P5. Yes. I took the result for our 7th podium. But does it feel like a real podium? Yes, it does, and you're not taking it away from me. Another podium, and the Ferraris will actually go ahead of us. They're pull further ahead of us. We're on 169 points. What a number. And Ocon getting some solid points to help us get to 169. But yeah, we caused a safety car. We spun at the banking. For some reason, I think I ran out of flashbacks, but I'm not sure. Yeah, caused it. It was very late, so we got a pit stop. I think we got damage. And on our fresher tyres, we were able to get Leclerc, Norris, and Sainz. At least I think I got Leclerc. I know I got Norris and Sainz, but I don't remember if I was behind Leclerc. Anyway, let's go to Italy. This time, not Japan, Italy. For a wet race. Mercedes plateau, we're level with Red Bull now, it seems. McLaren and Ferrari close in on us, and I can finally see Aston Martin just behind Alpine, that little blue stalk, and Alfa Romeo quite far behind them now, alongside Williams, and as Alfa Tauri pretty much level with Aston Martin there in P11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Joint 7th, it pretty much looks like. And it was an amazing result for us in the wet. Unfortunately, we could have got the win. And I'm not actually joking. We should have got it. We just qualified really poorly. I don't remember why. I don't remember how. Yuki Tsunoda's still on 0 points. Evil wants to forget this season. But we could have done really well. We could have gone equal. Well, we could have got Perez. Yeah, we should have, really. I don't know what happened in the qualifying. But we do gain on Ferrari and Verstappen and Hamilton not having good results, meaning I only pull further ahead of. Actually, no, I pull ahead. I go ahead of Hamilton for the first time, I believe, this season, and we only close. Well, we don't close in on Perez, but Perez closes in on Bottas and Verstappen. So do we. So can we pull a late charge on them as we head into the Russian Grand Prix? And yeah, Russia, I seem to go good around. Apart from when I'm having mechanical failures and I get disqualified for parking illegally when I've been told to park the car. So, yeah, fun. Anyway, heading into this race, McLaren finally go ahead of Ferrari this season as we only level ourselves with Red Bull once more, with more upgrades for both of us. Mercedes get really close to McLaren as no upgrades in the previous couple of races. Alpine stay level. Aston Martin pull ahead of AlphaTauri. Williams go ahead of AlphaTauri, and I didn't finish, but I already finished the race. And it was another brilliant win for our third victory of the season. Wait, France? Yeah, third win. And we pull closer to Sergio. We are now only 2 points behind Sergio Perez, who is a further 3 points behind Bottas. A little bit massive to Max, 40 points. But you want to watch Perez for the end of the season, because our form takes a turn for the worse. So we got to enjoy this as we can, while we can. But Ocon retires again, kind of foreshadowing what's going to happen to us for the end of the season. But we closed in on Bottas. We are only 5 points behind him. Let's see if we can get him before the end of the season. But can we? Let's head into the Japanese Grand Prix, where the AI are really overpowered. Mercedes are overtaken by Ferrari, as we are overtaken by Red Bull. We stopped bringing upgrades due to a regulation change, I believe, at this race. Williams go ahead of Aston Martin and AlphaTauri, and Alpine only pull further into no man's land as Haas actually gain closer to Alfa Romeo heading into the Japanese Grand Prix, of which being an amazingly strong Grand Prix for the AI, meaning we only got P8. Not helping our championship charge, especially when Sergio Perez wins the race and gets fastest lap, whilst Max Verstappen gets P12. We could have been right up there. Bottas down in P14 getting 0 points, whilst we get 4, so we pull the gap to 1 point. Not too bad, actually. So where's this turn for the worst? You might be asking. Well, we're in P8 with Ocon P5, and yeah, Ocon just really pulled his pants up this race. You know, he's been doing poorly in the past couple of races, and he must have heard me and packed his ideas up and did really well. USA next. Let's see what he can do there. Antonio Giovinazzi getting some solid points for Alpine, actually. Going level with Aston Martin probably shows where Aston Martin actually are in the R&D, as they are with AlphaTauri and Alpine. However, Alfa Romeo only got 6 points due to Russell's early points earlier in the season. USA. Yeah, remember what I said in season 1 about once you set a faster lap early in the race, it's really hard to beat that. Yeah, it really was. We had a terrible race, I believe. We just had no pace. You can't see by the R&D graph. We're level with Ferrari, McLaren, and Mercedes, so we should have had a good race, shouldn't we? We're in the top 5 teams at the moment, so we should be getting top 10 every race. No, we retired. And what makes this worse was Ocon was ahead of the Ferraris, when I retired. You want to know how many laps there's in USA? Roughly about 26. When did I retire? About lap 25. Ocon, you get in the boot. You lost three positions in a matter of about 2 laps, and we parked at the beginning of the back straight. So it was pretty much 1.5 laps. He lost 3 positions in about half a lap every time. You're getting the boot. I don't care if you win the next 3 races. I don't care. You're getting the boot. You can't be doing that. We were so close to beating Ferrari. We still can, but I doubt it. Heading into Mexico is wet quali. I'll talk about that in Mexico, but there's actually not much to talk about in USA, so I kind of have to talk about the next Grand Prix. Norris, surprisingly, only gets 0 points. Gets retirement and fastest lap, heading into Mexico. Not much change really. Anything noticeably different? Haas a lot closer. Then actually no, I don't know. I can't tell if Haas are further away from the beginning of the season or not. Anyway, qualifying wet. Yeah. We timed it incorrectly for the qualifying 3. We weren't on the right tyre, and yeah, we pulled our pants down. We started P10, got up to P5. We could have won the race, but we were too far back at the beginning of the race, and that just ruined it. Max tired, not doing too well, and for the first time ever, Checo Perez leads the championship. And this is why I wanted you to look at it. How far behind Checo Perez are we now? 63 points. Yeah, we could have been championship leaders. Yeah. I'm really annoyed at myself, at the team. I mean, we couldn't have done much better at USA. Japan did our best for the AI, with the AI. And Mexico, we just qualified terribly, so it's really been down to poor luck, me and team. So, yeah, Brazil, see if we can turn our fortunes around this late into the season. We are still within the shot, because we're 63 points behind. We would need to be 78 points or above to be out with a chance, because 3 races, 75 points, that 25 in each, 75, and then fastest lap 78, because 1 in each. So yeah. Anyway, enough of me rambling on. R&D, Mercedes pull ahead of us, making it even harder for us in the race. But I really enjoyed Brazil. It was the place of Baltic Bobbi, and Baltic Bobbi is back. We have found our mojo. We win the Brazilian Grand Prix but it's kind of too little too late. We're 4 points behind Ferrari. If we can continue this perform, we'll get ahead of them. But the championship is out. We only gained 7 points on Checo Perez. We needed to be on 218 to still be within a chance. And that's gone. And remember back to Russia when I said, watch him. We were 2 points behind Checo. And now we're 56. Yeah, I have no words. We should have done better. The whole team should have. But like I said, in Russia, we've got to enjoy these races as we can. And my mic is all over the place. I need to refix that. Could this season have gone better? We should have won Canada. We should have won Azerbaijan. We should have got good points in Austria. Australia now. And the pecking order pretty much stays the same. Alfa Romeo just improve a little bit, but it's not enough to go ahead of any teams. Whilst Red Bull are still ahead of Merc, just like the beginning of the season. Roles reverse of season 1, but I do believe this is after the patch performance update, meaning it could actually be a bit different. That's why. Let's see the race. Yeah, we did okay in this one actually. We got good points, not good enough really for anything. McLaren get a double podium, just like Ferrari did earlier in the season. And Ocon gets some good points and fastest lap, but it's too little too late, mate. You're going out the door at the end of the season. I don't care what you do in Abu Dhabi. I don't care if you win the championship in Abu Dhabi. That's impossible. But you know what's not impossible is for Max Verstappen to go equal with Perez going into the final race. Perez is 25 points ahead of Max. So Max needs first and fastest lap to win the championship. But also he needs Perez to finish outside the points. So I think Perez could win the championship here. And excuse me if I sound bitter, but we were 2 points behind him about 5 races ago. We were 2 points behind him. Yeah, Russia is round 20, 30, 34, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 34. 34. 6 races to go, we were 2 points behind the championship leader currently. And at the end of the season, not much happens. Just the A teams get a bit closer. Alfa Romeo, Williams, and Aston Martin get a bit closer. Heading into the championship finale, though, who wins the championship? It is Checo Perez winning the Drivers' World Championship for the first time ever. I don't care what you say, though. I am happy for him. He deserves it. He's been brilliant this season. He had a slow start. He should not have won his championship, but he has. Red Bull win the championship as well, so it makes it 2 different championship winners in 2 seasons for both the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors' Championship. But yeah, I kind of rage from this race. I don't want to blame it on having no time. I did have no time, but it doesn't give me an excuse to leave the race early. The car felt horrible. I had no pace. I was at the bottom of the top 10. I was falling away from Alonso. So yeah, that's the end of season 2. Join me for season 3. But I've been Racengineer until you Races have a problem you engineers can't fix. I've been a race engineer. Share with your friends because friends have common interests. Comment your thoughts below. I've messed this up. Bye. Like the season.